Welcome back to another episode of the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast. I am your host, Snoogs, and joining me on deck tonight are my ever-vigilant co-hosts, Grejio and Lucas, helping us to get through the top news and gaming stories from the week that was. So sit back, relax, and get ready for episode 317.
Whoa, this is the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast, the show with irreverent live listeners, raging hosts, and eventually conversation about the best and the worst of the video games industry. So, all that you're required to do now is to pick up your poison of choice. Expect the best, but prepare for the worst, and above all, enjoy the show.
Thanks everyone for joining in. Before we get started, Grejio, welcome back again this week, bro. How are you?
I am well. I'm doing rather well. I had a great weekend, so yeah, feeling good.
Sounds like a plan, mate. Luke, how about yourself, mate?
I'm doing very good, thank you. I'm actually really impressed that you managed to keep count of what episode is what, because I always get it wrong. Have you noticed that I've been putting when I send you through my notes, I put the wrong episode all the time?
Yes. I have an ongoing list. So
yeah, so do I. I still manage to screw it up. The numbers are so high. I don't know what to do. I can't count that high. 317 episodes. That's massive.
I know. That's just, and more to come. It's just brilliant.
Wonder what we're going to do for episode 400. We've given away consoles in the past. Ooh. I wonder. Ooh. But you reckon by episode 400 they'll be available? The new consoles?
No, they'll still be.
Maybe we can give away a pre-order.
Well, that's it. No, this is what I can do. I can promise that we'll give away an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5 by episode 400, and I won't actually need to deliver on that because they won't be available. They'll be bought by bots. But anyway, we'll see how we go.
Well, as we do every week, a quick g'day to the live chat. A10, Azrael, Radicus, and the Wraith. Thanks for joining in, peeps. I hope you had fun. Having fun. Forgotten how to speak already.
They'll have fun.
They will have fun. It's already going crazy.
They'll enjoy listening to you fumble your words.
Oh, it's bloody shocking, isn't it?
I'll do the same. Don't worry. Don't feel like you're going to be alone on that one.
And it's only Monday. Who would have thought? And
I forgot to hit record, mate. Start again.
Craig can take it over.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Let's go.
That's good. Craig's got it. He's got it covered for us. All right, well, let's jump into the show. Before we get started, Xbox has splashed the cash. The Division has called me back. The 3080 is here. Destiny 2 is getting a resize. Ubisoft investigating even more bullshit issues. A new Naughty Dog game. And maybe we'll talk about some stuff we've been playing too. So let's go.
Let go of what?
All your troubles.
And then let's go?
And then we will go and get on the bandwagon and all that jazz. And I should go and open up another.
This is amazing. So if anybody's listening to this podcast, if episode 317 is your first time, you're in for a doozy.
Yeah. Sorry. This week in gaming, we're only going back last year because I want to talk about what I see as a bit of a flop of a game. Ghost Recon Breakpoint was released this week last year.
Wow.
It was published by Ubisoft. Yeah, I know, huge, right? I was having a look at some old ones, but this one popped up. And have either of you guys played it other than the beta as yet?
Yes, I own it.
Do you?
Yeah, it's not as bad as it seems, but you're right. Compared to Wildlands, it sort of did flop. But I sort of put that down to the fact that it's just Wildlands again, except they changed up a few things that made it, I guess, its own game. But still, it was essentially the same game. Mind you, if you play Breakpoint, I feel so much like I'm just playing the Division now. All the controls are almost identical.
That was my problem with it. It was they took Wildlands and turned it into the Division. That's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I was annoyed when Wildlands was released and that was what they called Ghost Recon. But that's like been a long-running issue with me and Ubisoft, is that they're like same thing as Assassin's Creed. They're taking Assassin's Creed, they turned it into something completely different, yet they still call it Assassin's Creed. Ghost Recon, I think of Ghost Recon Advanced, or Future Soldier.
Future Soldier, yeah.
Those kind of games, they were co-op, they were linear, they were story-based, they were fun. Like that, like you had proper moments of cooperative play. Whereas this one, I felt it was just like, it was either too easy at some times, or it just was just all-out shit fight where everything was exploding, there was gunfire everywhere, there was no real order to it. And that sort of, bled on to Breakpoint. And then Breakpoint just went overboard with the game as a service. And it's not bad. It's not a bad game, but it's not good either. It's nothing great. It's just a different version of Division.
So it's the Division before the dollar virus hit.
Pretty much. Pretty much, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's that one. So let's jump into it. Games that we've been playing this week. Luke, would you like to have this in? You gave it to me in Game Talk, but would you like it in Game Talk or news? The RTX 3080.
No, well, that's Game Talk. Yeah, I don't have news about it, so to speak. I've just really got a story of my experience with it that I wanted to share. Now, a few of the eagle-eyed Discord members, agents, picked up the fact that when I posted that I got my 3080. That it wasn't an Asus Tough card, which is what I toted that I managed to order online the night of the launch. And that's true. It's a completely different card, because what happened is that I ordered my Asus Tough card online from M-Wave. And when I bought that online, it said 3 to 6 days delivery. Made it look like it was in stock and it was going to take 3 to 6 days for delivery. However, it was processing for 3 days, and processing on their website means that no stock allocated just yet. Once it's been picked from the warehouse, then it'll be allocated to my order. And I got into the chat with them, asked them what was going on, and they said, "Oh no, you didn't get one of the first wave. You pre-ordered the card." And I said, "No, I didn't pre-order it. Your website told me it was 3 to 6 days. That tells me it's in stock and it's going to get posted to me."
Yeah, funnily enough, I actually found, because you and I were talking, as it was going live, we were chatting.
Yeah.
And I actually found the screenshot of Asus GeForce RTX 3080 Tough Gaming 10 gigabyte video card in stock at supplier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was what I saw when I purchased it, and then when I asked them about it, I don't necessarily blame the person. I don't know if they're lying to me flat out, the person I was chatting with, the support, or if that was the information they got was what they had in front of them. I don't know. But either way, it was a pretty shitty experience. And then they basically told me in 2 to 4 weeks, we'll have more information about your stock. However, you can cancel at any time. Yeah, thanks for that. But anyway, in the meantime, I don't even remember doing this. I think I just did it sort of half asleep or something. I went to the Decomp website, which is a local computer store, and they had the 3080s listed up there, but they were all listed as Notify Me, so they weren't in stock. So I clicked the Notify Me that I'd get an email when they're available. And to their credit, I got an email the second they were available at Decomp. I checked, it was Friday afternoon, Friday just gone. I was sitting on my lounge at home chatting with Azrael. She'd come over, she'd visited, and I got the email, and I just had this blank look at my face, and I looked over at Az and I said, 3080s are in stock at Decomp right now, which is about a 10-minute, 15-minute drive away from where I live. And she looked at me and she goes, "So we're going for a drive?" I said, "Yes, we are." So I got the email from Decomp at 2:45 p.m. My credit card statement says that I paid for the 3080 at 3:07 p.m. So essentially I made a beeline for this, and the guy was like, "Okay, you're the very first person to buy it from us." They only had 2 in stock too, so it was a bit scary on the way there, thinking I might be wasting my time. So I essentially bought 2 3080s. But then when I got home and installed my Gigabyte card, because Gigabyte was the one that was in stock, I just went and cancelled my Asus Tough one. So that was the experience there, and bit of a messy launch to say the least. But I managed to get my hands on it pretty quick. I would say. I think I was very lucky to have that opportunity. But yep, I've run the 3080 is sitting in my computer right now. I'm staring at it, and it's got like GPU sag, like a 84-year-old lady's titties, and it's sexy as all hell.
All right. Well,
and it runs well.
What have you jumped into and bumped up the settings on?
Well, I did try Flight Simulator, and on max settings on Flight Sim, 1440p runs at about 55 FPS, which is pretty impressive, really. And you know what? 55 FPS in Flight Sim is plenty. Like it's not really it's not a fast-paced game, so it's not really going to make much difference. What else have I tried? Marvel's Avengers. That's really nice. That runs at about 100 frames a second, max settings, 1440p, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I tried Call of Duty, turned on the ray tracing, everything all up at max, and everything just looks really good. You know, these settings were always available to me, sans the ray tracing, or they were all available to me with the 1080, but it just, it would be sub 60. So I never bothered with it. But now I can play it all at well above 60 frames a second, all on my 3080. Ooh, it's so good. But yeah, plenty more games. I'm ready to go for Cyberpunk 2077 now, and I'm really enjoying being the envy of all my friends. All the, what's another word? The opposite of envy. I guess not envying, but despising. Being despised by all of my friends.
That could work. Yeah, that works. Why not? We'll go with that one.
I don't despise you, Luke. I just don't care.
Yeah, because you can't. The 3080 is not compatible with an Xbox One.
You're right. So, man.
But the Xbox Series X is going to have certain video games that are available to play at 120 frames per second. Coming soon.
I am your antithesis when it comes to frame rate, dude. I don't care.
You're still on a day one Xbox One, so yeah, you clearly don't give a fuck about frame rate.
Exactly.
It's all about the games, hey? You should be a PlayStation fan. For the plebs. I mean, players.
All right, well, Greg, take it away with Hotshot Racing, mate.
Hotshot Racing. What a great game. So I actually saw this a couple of weeks ago on one of the online events we had for the games, and I thought, yeah, that's a pretty cool game. And then Radicus reminded me about 2 weeks ago that it was on Game Pass, so I went and dug it up and downloaded it and had a crack. It's pretty cool. It's a bit of a retro racing game. Has a very sort of Ridge Racer feel to it, like that old just going flat stick, drifting around corners. No sense of seriousness about it at all. It's very arcadey, and it has sort of a very sort of old style graphics to it, which kind of reminds me of, like, what am I thinking here? Sort of like Outrun, I guess, kind of thing, thing. Anyway,
Outrun-ish.
Yeah. So either way, gives you a couple of different modes. There's a GP mode, there's a single player mode. In the single player mode, there's a couple of different types of races. There's like a cops and robbers kind of thing. There's straight racing. There's a survival thing where you've got to race around and so there's two elements. You've got to get to the checkpoints in time, but at the same time, you've got to stay above a certain speed limit. And if you don't, your car blows up, and essentially the fastest person is going to be the person that is usually out the front and staying out of trouble and not being slowed down.
Are you telling me that the fastest person in the race is usually out front? Is that how it works?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
not always.
Bizarre concept.
Not always, because sometimes you get overtaken and like the other person is just fast for a little bit. But anyway, Daytona, actually, that's probably a better analogy for the graphics. Daytona is definitely a better analogy. It's got a very Daytona. The music, the pumping music, the yelling out of checkpoints and, final lap, it's got that very much Daytona, yelly, screamy, it's happening, keep playing, keep racing, keep doing things. You've got a bunch of different races you can choose from as your character, and each character has their own set of cars that you can choose to play as. Each one has its, obviously, one's an accelerating, one's top speed, one's handling, and then there's usually one that sort of is a balance. Yeah, look, it's free on Game Pass, obviously, so, but lots of fun. Like, I really enjoyed it.
PC though.
Probably not on PC, no.
No.
I'm not even sure whether it's on anything other than Xbox, to be quite frank.
Well, the Wraith in the chat says it's on the Switch. It's also on Steam.
Cool.
It's $30 on Steam.
Yeah, it's $30 on Xbox as well.
$28.95. Yeah. So.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, good fun.
All right. Well, last week, Rocket League went free to play on everything.
It did.
So I jumped back in, had a few rounds, completely and utterly suck. And I thought, I might have a bit of a leg up against people that have never played it before. And like I platinumed the thing on the PlayStation, and every ounce of talent that I had with that game is gone. It's just nothing left over. But I'll tell you what,
I played it as well, and I smashed them. I was good.
Oh, I'm glad you did, mate. I was just completely, my timing was just completely out. But did it always have such a low ceiling? Because I remember when you'd shoot, like with the way the ceiling was, it was more rounded. It kind of feels like it just stops now.
Well, there's different size arenas.
Okay. Because, a couple of arenas that I played on, there was just you'd get halfway up the wall and there was just this ceiling there that never used to be there.
No, it's always had the ceiling there.
Yeah, but it used to be curved. It looked a lot smaller than it was.
That's just your recollection. It's not. It's
probably.
The same.
All right. Well, it still looks cool. A lot of people have been having fun with it. It's been blowing up on Twitch again, which is always good to see. So we'll have to jump in and have a game together.
Yeah, I'm always up for that, as long as I'm not asleep or died or something. Otherwise, I'm keen.
Always keen for some Rocket League. All right, mate. Well, you finished off Serious Sam the other night.
I did. And look, the reason why I wanted to bring this up again this week, not for the sake of just talking about it again, but I want to, and I think I actually do need to record an encore review for Serious Sam 4. But this is, I don't want to take all of the blame for this. I partly blame the developers and the publishing company or the PR company that gave us the game. This is a game that shouldn't have been played before that update on day one. It was, how big was it? 37 gigabyte?
37 gig, yeah.
Essentially, we re-downloaded the game in that patch. And I then continued playing the game the other night with the Wraith. And we played it from where we were up to the end of the game. I felt like I was playing a different game. A very different game. And nothing to do with me running a 3080, because even on my 1080 Ti, I was running it at max anyway. But the game fidelity was through the roof. Now, look, this could also be just the last few missions could be a lot better than the early ones, because I didn't replay the first ones with the patch. But when I started playing this the other night, I felt like I was playing a different game, and I feel like it was twice as good. It was ridiculous. I really enjoyed that. If you're keen on Serious Sam 4, it ramps up towards the end of the game. And I'm not saying like the last mission's awesome, but the last few missions just kept blowing my mind. I'm just like, wow. They pushed themselves, and I'm really annoyed that we didn't get to play this like that for our review. And that's what I'm saying. I might have to do like a bit of an encore and say, listen, now that it's had the update, because I hammered it a bit. Like, I did say that I liked the game in my review, but I basically said, well, actually, I did say this is a shitty game that I actually like. But it's not. It's not. It's like the acting is shitting. I stand by my comment about the voice acting. It's rubbish, but I feel like that's part of the charm. And it always has been rubbish. And the cheesiness of the jokes and the one-liners, it's all part of the game. It's meant to be like that. but the game itself just got supercharged towards the end of the game. You've got to finish it, Snoogs. Absolutely got to finish it. I'll play it again with you just to go through it. But it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that ending.
Oh,
Great
good.
game.
Yeah, because that was Friday night. I finished watching the footy, and I'm like, all right, sweet, I'll jump on. And I saw that you were still streaming, so I went, oh, cool. I'll put you on in the background. And then as soon as I turned it on, I saw you were in the last mission of it. And I'm like, bastards. Went off and finished it without me.
you were MIA. That's your fault.
Yeah. I was watching the footy. But,
football. Seriously? Football over a night of gaming? Pff, some priorities.
With that game of football, and considering that South absolutely flogged the Roosters,
we don't need to know. We don't need to know.
Yeah, you can put your never-ending story sound on. That's all right.
Yeah, that's probably warranted there. Go on, tell us about the game.
No, I don't want to tell you about the game.
Oh,
I want to hear about Stranger Things 3.
Stranger Things 3. It's an action-adventure game based on the third series of Stranger Things. It's like an isometric retro art gaming style. Think of kind of like Police Quest kind of style. Yeah, I know you're not going to be thrilled by it, but what I've played so far.
I loved Police Quest.
Oh, okay. It was just I know you're not a big sort of pixely person, so anyway, look. So yeah, isometric action adventure game where you play as one of 12 characters from the TV show. It's a bit like the Lego games. You can play co-op, so you always have two characters on the screen. And if you're playing single, you can switch between the two characters, and you can hit your triggers to switch. If you have more characters unlocked, you can switch between them like you can in the Lego game. So you'll have like a compendium of characters you can sort of blink through. And if you're playing with two people, you play with one each, and you obviously blink through who you need together. So obviously each character brings its own set of abilities and skills to help you get through the levels, solve the puzzles. Obviously they also have different attack abilities. So some have close-up melee, there's ranged, there's all sorts of things. So far, I've probably put about an hour and a half into it. And I won't sit here and say it's the world's most stellar game, but I love the TV series, and it's pretty faithful to the game, like to the TV series. If you want another way to sort of go back and recap the series, and you kind of like this style of game, I would suggest that it's well worth a play. Like you just sit through and you're recapping all those. It hits all those nostalgic points through the season, and I think it's really cool.
So is it on Game Pass, is it?
Yeah, so it's on Game Pass. If you wanted to buy it though, it's not very much. It's $15, right? It's not a very big game. The game size itself is like 956 meg, so it's not a huge game. But then the game style probably isn't very demanding of size either. So I don't know how long it goes for. Like I said,
it requires a 256 meg video card.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's very old school flavor. However, like I said, I've played for an hour and a half, and I've only come up against one enemy from the Upside Down. Most of them up until now have been the Russian spies. I'm not trying to spoil too much, but if you haven't watched season 3 by now, hurry the fuck up. It's been out for a while now.
I haven't seen season 1, dude.
Oh, well then.
I've got to start it still.
The last episode I remember watching, there was this little girl. I think she had no hair, and she broke into a restaurant or like a chef's
holy shit
thingy, and he fed her food.
Yeah, right.
I think that was season 1, episode 1.
Yeah,
and then
much.
I turned it off because it was boring.
Oh, dude, you did not give it enough time. But hey, look, that's you.
I give a TV show 10 minutes usually. No, I don't even do that. It's got 10 minutes of episode 1, season 1. If it doesn't captivate my interest, then it's gone. I gave that, and I watched almost the whole episode 1 twice.
So no slow burns for you. That's all right.
No, I need entertaining. Otherwise, I'm like on my phone, on Twitter, trying to find something to arouse my enormous brain.
Yeah,
and I end up
it's arousing
finding
the
something
brain.
else,
Yeah.
something else that gets aroused usually, depending on the websites I look at. But no, I haven't been able to get into it. I know I'm probably wrong, and I probably will like it if I just stick to it. But I'm pretty firm on this. If you can't captivate my interest in the first 10 minutes of a show, then you're fucking lazy and you're not worthy of my time.
Big calls from Luke there. Anyway, look, like I said, if you're a fan of the game, a fan of the show, and you like this style of game, I think it's definitely worth a play. Especially if you're just wanting to feel like a bit of a recap of season 3. Like if season 4 came out and you were like, "Oh, I really should go back and just refresh my memory before season 4," this would be a great way of doing it. Just something different.
Oh,
See, even Radicus thought it was average, so I'm not the only one. I've just got a higher tier of intelligence, and it takes just a little bit more to arouse my interest. I'm saying arouse too much. I'm aroused.
we know where your mind is. All right.
I'm going to close this.
Starting to worry about how many times my head has been stuck onto a sexy lady tonight on the chat. So starting to get a little worried.
I so would, Greg. I would.
I'm starting to think you're not the only one by the person that's putting them up there.
It's a challenge, but it's not impossible.
Shout out to the chat, all you weirdos out there, especially you, Wraithy, especially you.
Well, at the moment, the Division 2 is on sale on pretty much everything.
It's been on sale since it launched.
It's on sale. Sale. I bought it this week on PC and have started again. So going through it all, playing it on PC. Yeah, they've also just recently released the latest update, which was title update number 11, which brings a whole lot of new changes and whatnot to the game. But it also brings a new raids. Oh, it's hard to describe. It's not really a raid. It's kind of like an instance where you matchmake into this activity. And what it is, it's a 100-level skyscraper.
Oh,
and
yeah, you've told
each
me
level,
yeah,
each level gets progressively harder as you go up. So that's part of the Warlords of New York DLC. So if you've got that, you can go in and do this thing, and it's just another activity to do. A lot of people are going through and trying to beat it as solo or going through with groups and whatnot. It seems to be a bit of fun. So being that it cost me less than $15, I went, okay, I'll grab that on PC and run around on PC and do it all again. So why not?
I own it on PC also, and when I heard that you had bought it, I reinstalled it. So I'm there to play with. You can play with me.
Ready to go. Cool. We can go and run through together. Sounds like a plan. Oh, and Tanny's got it too.
Oh, look at that. We've got a crew.
And I'm pretty sure the Wraith has that Ubisoft Fandangled thing, doesn't he? So he's got it as well.
Ubisoft Plus? I don't know. Whatever it's called.
I don't know what it's called. The Fandangled thing.
Ubisoft. We'll rip you off monthly.
Yes, but he can play as Sam Fisher in Rainbow Six now. So
see, they need to be careful about letting you play every single game that they own, because slowly you'll realise that they're all the same game. What the fuck? I just came from playing The Division and now I'm playing Breakpoint. Yeah, what the hell?
what's going on?
There's a new map. There's a new map in The Division, and the dollar virus has been cured.
Don't laugh. They might be
now I get mud on
streamlining.
my boots.
I'll streamline into one game. Assassin's Creed dollar virus.
Yeah, now featuring Sam Fisher.
The Assassin's Division featuring
Legion.
Sam Fisher.
The Dishonored Legion of Assassins. Blah.
Dishonored?
It's coming. It's coming soon. All right. Well, that's it for Game Talk, everyone. So let's jump into some What's That Sound?
Oh, yeah, we're going to do What's That Sound? All right. Now, last week we had a sound, and I can't remember what it was again. I should probably start writing this down. It was this one. That's right. And none other than Snoogs jumped in there straight away of working that one out, because he's probably died the most. But that was from Dark Souls, That's the sound that plays when the red text comes up on the screen saying you died. How blatant is that as well? It's just straight to the point. You died. That's it.
Yeah, but
not game over.
It's still not as bad as those games that come up and say, you died, would you like to lower the difficulty?
Oh, isn't that like that? Like the knife is already there because you died, and then they twist it a little bit by saying,
just get in there and jig a little bit.
Would you like to lower the difficulty? Because this is clearly too hard for you.
Yep.
Fuck
Hey,
off.
scrub. Might as well just say, hey, scrub. Here's the settings button.
Let's put it on potato mode. Yeah.
You're no good. You're never going to be good. We'll make it easier. How about that? But anyway, well done, Snoogs. You got that one right last week before everybody else did. But all right. But hang on. What's this? Radicus is saying the my mode. Oh, that's my mode. Hemp.
Mm.
I'm not in the mood to decipher hieroglyphics. Let's listen to this week's What's That Sound? Whoops, that was the wrong sound effect. That was from the website I was just looking at. My bad. No, just kidding. That is just
Larry.
What's That Sound? That one. We got A10 with a guess straight up, and he's saying Doom. And now he's doing the shotgun approach, and he said Duke Nukem. Also incorrect. Radic is saying that's a game.
That's not a game, and don't.
Penguins. What's a penguin?
Penguin.
You're missing some
Penguins, mate.
pixels on your screen. Heretic. It's not correct as well.
A10's really on a ton of vision right now.
I don't know. I thought the right person would probably get this one immediately. It's it sounds like one of those old games. Well, it's definitely not a new game.
No, it's definitely not a new
what's
game.
it? Puping out ball bearings.
Ball bearings.
Right. Radicus says play it again. No, that's not correct. No, okay. He wants me to play it again. All right. Have a listen. We'll play it again. Now, there's a couple of sounds in there that will assist in working it out. That kind of a little bit of a tell as to what it is. Popular thing in this game, but by far is it the main part of the game. Oh, Azrael said, what you say, Wolfenstein? No. Azrael says, I fucking know it, but I don't know the name. Fuck. Look, I'm no expert in language, but I would say that you don't know it if you don't know the name. Oh dear. Any of you two? You guys don't have a clue?
It sounds familiar, but I can't put my finger on it.
Is it like a Metal Slug type thing, or
no?
No,
it's not.
Oh.
Well, you know what? Like every week I get it completely wrong. I'm like, oh, this one's going to be super hard. And then someone gets it. Or like I said, oh, Snoogs, I don't expect you to get this one. And then you get it. This week I actually thought you guys would get this. No, well, I guess not. All right, well, I'll play it one more time.
Wait till next week.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That is this week's What's That Sound? If you think you know what that sound is, then head across to our Discord channel. Links are in the description. You can join up, go across to the Podcast General, pop in your answer, and if you're correct, you'll get yourself a shiny little emoji of me giving you a thumbs up. You'll probably get one of Leo as well. Why not? But we'll give you the answer next week. That's called a cliffhanger, kids.
All right, well, let's jump into some news. Biggest news from the last week. Luke, you can take it away. Microsoft has bought ZeniMax, which is, of course, parent company to Bethesda and all of the Bethesda software.
Oh, nice. Yeah, not really the news article I've got, but I realised after I sent that through, that's pretty important to know before the news that I actually have. But yes.
$7.5 billion, people.
So you've got more info on that?
That's $1 per bug in Fallout 76.
Yes! Microsoft bought the bugs. Oh dear, that's funny. But yeah, so Microsoft have just splashed some cash and bought ZeniMax, which comes along with, let's see if I can get these off the top of my head. The IP such as Doom, Dishonored. We've got Elder Scrolls. We've got, help me out. Feel free to help me out.
Fallout.
Yes, Fallout. We've said that 3 times now. Yes, Starfield. Wolfenstein, very good. That's most of them.
They technically get Ghostwire Tokyo and what's the other one, which is they're coming as PS5 exclusives, but the exclusivity deal is still going to be honoured. But then there's the assumption that they'll come afterwards.
Rage.
Yeah, well, the deals were made beforehand. Yeah, Rage, there's another one. But yeah, essentially, Microsoft just this is their way of saying, of righting the wrongs. There was that meme out there that was Xbox has no games, and Xbox players were just begging Microsoft, "Can you fix it? Fix it. Get rid of this tagline of us not having any games." And they've just gone, "All right, well, we'll just buy every goddamn studio we can." And this is probably one of their biggest acquisitions and probably one of their biggest shocking ones. But the news that I actually have here, quickly just before I go into that, Radic has put in the chat here, I'd love them to buy Naughty Dog to piss Luke off. You know what? If they bought Naughty Dog, that would do the absolute opposite of pissing me off. And do you know why? Because Microsoft put all of their games on the Xbox and on the PC. And if they bought Naughty Dog, that would mean that I could probably end up playing The Last of Us on a PC at something better than 30 frames per second. So that would not piss me off. That would actually make me wet. And I would need to have a shower.
Twice.
All right. Yes, twice. Alrighty. So, yeah, look, what I've got here. Now, this is an insider word on Microsoft and Bethesda and their sort of acquisitions there. Now, this is something that we would probably normally reserve for last words because it's not necessarily hard word. It's not official, but it's on good authority. And I may eat my words here. I may be putting too much faith in this person, but I'm going with it because I feel it's probably right. Now, have you guys heard of Colt Eastwood?
He was the guy that started.
Sorry?
Wasn't it? He wasn't he the one that started ZeniMax? Or Bethesda?
No. He's a YouTuber. Sorry, I sort of threw you under the bus there. I should have said that. YouTuber Colt Eastwood. Now, he's a very prevalent name in the Xbox sort of world. He's worked very closely with Xbox, but he doesn't work for them, so he's not like a Major Nelson. But I would put him up there. Like, he's pretty close. He's got a lot of good information, and he gets a lot of information. There's his what do you call it? His little avatar on the screen there for the chat for those in the live one. Yep. And he's not. From what I've seen of him, he doesn't necessarily come out and just say fanboy shit. Although he is a massive Xbox fanboy, he's very factual. So when he does like throw shade at PlayStation and shit like that, he's not just making up shit and saying memes. He actually comes with facts. So as much as he annoys the shit out of me because he is a fanboy, he's actually one of the better ones. But anyway, the point I want to make is that he's one of his recent videos. And what I'll do if I remember, editing Lucas, get the link to this video you're talking about, put it in the description. Now, he's come out and he said that Microsoft, and I don't know, the way he worded it really well to the point where he's like, I'm not saying they told me this, but they told me this. And it was sort of like on the sly. But Microsoft do intend to make massive Bethesda titles, including Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, and new Doom titles, exclusive to Xbox. Now, this is something that's been of massive contention since this happened. People are like, oh no, that means that, Doom's not going to be on the PlayStation. And a lot of people are out there saying, no, it will. And I was one of those people of like, nah, they wouldn't do that, would they?
Of course they would.
Well, yeah, this is what it's sounding like. And this information that is given here is like I said, from a reputable person in the Xbox world who seems to know what he's talking about. And I feel like Microsoft have played friendly up until now in taking steps to move forward and building the Xbox name back up to where it was. And they've gotten to a point where they've just gone, right, we're here now. For the rest of our actions, fuck them. We are going to pile drive Sony into the ground. And I think this is their first move. Now, Colt Eastwood does mention this is not public information. It is not official information, but only because Microsoft know that this kind of information will cause trouble. And they don't want to be seen like that. But the reality of it is, there is a very good chance that you will not have Elder Scrolls 6 on PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
The massive title that all you have is a title, we don't even know what the game is, Starfield, will be an Xbox exclusive. Going forward with Doom, Xbox exclusive. And it makes sense. At first, it didn't make sense to me. I thought they wouldn't do that. Thinking about the way they've been moving, I actually do think that they would, and it would be a smart move. Although it will only put Sony on the outer. And I feel like Microsoft, knowing their future steps, extended the olive branch out to Sony, and Sony denied them. So Microsoft have said, right, going forward, we will team up with everyone except PlayStation. So with the Xbox exclusives, it's not necessarily just going to be on the Series X and Series S. All of these games will be available on PC. They'll also be available on mobile platforms via xCloud, including the Nintendo Switch, but not PlayStation 5. So you're going to be able to play it everywhere except the PS5. And I feel like this is a move towards hurting PlayStation. And you know what? I'm fucking right on it. Go for it. Smash them. I love to see this because I think that PlayStation have been surfing on their own hubris for way too fucking long. It's about time somebody like Phil Spencer had the balls to step up and take them on. I love it. I think this is fantastic. This is going to be an exciting couple of years of next-gen consoles. And I don't give a shit about them because I'm all PC now.
Yeah, look,
but in saying that, I do have stakes in Xbox because all of their cool shit is on my PC as well. So I would really like Xbox to smash it. At the same time, the PlayStation is still pretty awesome.
See, the more and more that I look at this acquisition of Bethesda, the more and more I think it's a bad idea. And the reason I think it's a bad idea because $7.5 billion is a shitload of money. Doesn't matter that you're Microsoft. It's still a lot of money to be, splashing out to buy a studio. So where does that money come from? How are they going to justify, moving forward, having all these studios under the Game Pass banner when everyone's, all these Microsoft first parties are getting released to Game Pass for nothing extra on the day of release. So people are going to go and they'll play it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. That, and then you've got those that would have bought it originally that aren't buying it now because it's just on Game Pass. Where does that money come from?
I'll tell you where it comes from. All of those people that aren't on Xbox and aren't on Game Pass, and there's a lot of them because remember they got smashed by Sony last generation or this generation. There's going to be a lot of people that are jumping ship. I know there's a lot of people that are hardcore and wouldn't go to bloody Xbox even if all of the IPs from Sony moved across. They would still stay with Sony. But there are a lot of people out there that are just playing PlayStation because it was the best one around. And all of those people, there's a lot of people that are going to jump ship because they're like, I want to play Elder Scrolls 6.
The fence sitters. They're going to get the fence sitters.
I want Doom. I want Elder Scrolls. I want Wolfenstein. I'm going to go get Game Pass. They are going to sell a lot of Game Pass subscriptions off that acquisition.
Yeah. My just concern is just looking over the last couple of years that we've been doing this, we've seen microtransactions come in, microtransactions being caused this massive issue, everyone having a concern for them, and now it's to a point where they're sort of just a given. It's kind of just a given that microtransactions are in there. Then we've had, battle passes come in. Battle passes was an extra grab for money. Why aren't I just getting this as part of the game? Why do I need to spend real money for stuff in game when I could just earn those rewards? And now it's just a given. So what's the next thing? History does repeat itself. So what's the next thing that's going to be a change of money? Are they going to say that, Game Pass, with your Game Pass subscription of $15 a month, you can get the first 3 levels? Or does every game now start going as a game of service?
No, that would be a backward step, because then people would just turn around and go,
answer.
I'll just go back to buying games. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. I don't know the answer, but what is the next thing? Does the prices go up?
Step is.
Do the games start becoming, half games that you've got to buy extra bits of DLC for that wouldn't have normally been there? Like, where's the extra cash come from?
No, I don't see that, because the extra cash comes from a monthly subscription. They get paid that every month, and also the games that we're playing have DLC and microtransactions. So all of the stuff that we're paying for, that we like, the monthly subscription that they give us, is a gateway into us giving them more money. Because if a game comes out and I absolutely love it, I'm going to buy the DLC for it. Because they don't give you that. Sometimes they do, granted, but they don't just give you the DLC as well.
No,
they give you the base game. On occasions they do. Okay, that's just a nice little perk. But they don't give you the DLC. They give you the base game. So if you want skins, or you want battle passes, or you want expansion packs, you pay for that. And that stuff, the money just rolls in from that shit. You've seen how mobile gaming brings in the most revenue. That's because they're riddled with microtransactions.
And because it's all small chips.
Yeah,
all
and it's
small cuts.
And then for people
you
like
don't
us,
think about it.
People
You
that
just
are
go
like us
$2
that don't pay for microtransactions, our gaming habits are being supported by those numbskulls that keep buying all those skins, which on occasion is me. But they're the ones paying for the brilliant services that we're getting for one fee a month.
Yeah.
It's completely it's viable. I can see it being viable.
The other thing is it gets it starts to change our habits, because all of a sudden we don't have to pay for the games. So we're okay with spending some money on the microtransactions, because we're like, well, we would normally pay $90 for this game, so how about I just spend $90 on the microtransactions, right? So all of a sudden we're starting to pay in small increments all the time, and we're changing our habits without us even knowing.
And then you multiply that one person's spending habits by the amount of people that are on Game Pass, and then it just becomes an enormous amount of money that Microsoft are just pocketing and going, this is a good idea, wasn't it, Phil? Yeah. It's working for them. If it wasn't working, because Game Pass has been here for a few years now, if it wasn't working, they wouldn't be ramping it up. They'd be backing it off and possibly killing it off. But it's just going up. So it's obviously bringing in money for them. It's working. And I think they're hitting some home runs. And I think the next step is that they'll go up to PlayStation and go, hey, remember how we let you have Minecraft on the PlayStation even though we own it? Yeah, well, we're not giving you any updates anymore. You can keep what you've got, but if you want to play the current version, come on over to Team Green, buddy. Otherwise, go fuck yourself. The fucking smiling assassin that is Phil Spencer. It's an interesting time to be a gamer, I'll tell you that much, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think this generation is going to be pretty bloody and cutthroat.
Yeah. The Xbox has the Xbox has got all of our games.
The Xbox went and bought all their games.
That's right.
Yep.
Hey, I heard a quote.
Wins win.
Gaming developers are not built, they're bought.
Yep.
Who owns the developer? Themselves. If they make up their own company, them. So the only way for Microsoft to get them is to buy them. Same with Sony. They buy them. People are out there going, oh, the only reason why they got so many studios is because they bought them. Where where the fuck else are you going to get them?
Yep.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, well.
All right. Well, speaking of games of service, Destiny 2. We've got the Destiny 2 Beyond Light expansion, which is coming out. They are revamping a whole lot of the base code and base games and way in which they do updates. So now the overall size of Destiny 2 will actually be approximately 40% smaller. The big problem with that is just before Beyond Light goes live on November 10, you will need to delete and re-download your entire game.
Oh, what?
So you need to re-download the game, which thankfully with the Beyond Light expansion is only going to be between 59 and 71 gig, depending on where you're playing it. And you'll have 10 hours. So sorry, Australia. 10 hours before the expansion goes live, they're going to actually do like a preload time. So for 10 hours before it goes live on November 10, you'll be able to download the new version of Destiny 2.
How have they not been able to work out to just make it an update?
Technically is an update.
Well, yeah, but you have to delete it.
Yes.
That's not what I'm talking about. How is that not just an automated update?
You're looking for a patch, like somebody.
It's got a lot to do with the base coding of the game and how they implement bug fixes.
Yeah, so just change it in the patch.
Hot fixes. Yeah, apparently they haven't been able to do it because of the complete overhaul that the system is getting.
I assume they're changing the architecture of the game then.
They're changing the architecture of the game.
When the patch activates, I go, oh yeah, click the update now. Okay, go. Can't it just do the delete and then reinstall? Some people will find issue with that because they're not real technical. Maybe they got their grandkids over to install it for them, and then they've got to do it themselves, and they're like, I don't know how to do that.
It doesn't say in the notes that I've got that you have to physically go and delete it yourself, but it is effectively a delete and reinstall.
Okay, so it may do it like I've suggested they should have. Okay, all right. Yeah. So not necessarily. Well, in that case, I'll jump down off my soapbox and let you continue.
One of the big things that they've said, with the patches and hot fixes and whatnot, it would take, if something like an emergency patch needed to come up, it would take them over 24 hours to get that patch ready to fix the problem. But now it's actually going to drop it below 12 hours to get it ready. So it's effectively halving the turnaround time to actually get things out and get them moving and get it flying along a lot better.
Do you know something that some people might not know, that the gaming companies actually have to pay per update that they push? Like if it's on the PlayStation, they pay Sony to push an update. That is a fee. It is a fee of the service. And same on Xbox. If they want to update their game, there is actually a fee. Just an interesting little background fact that is a thing. Yeah, which has crippled a lot of the indie titles because they don't generally have the money to fork out, which is why indie games get updated so infrequently. There's an interesting fact.
Yeah, I never knew that. That's a bullshit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's essentially like a storefront. It's like rent. You're paying to have your game on there. There's a 30% fee that we all know about now because of Epic Games and the Apple Store. There's that fee per transaction, but there is also ongoing sort of housekeeping fees that these companies have to pay to have their game continually on the store and for updates. And the reason why a lot of these games are going to Epic Game Store instead of Steam is that Epic Game Store have much lower costs for these things, for updates and for per transaction and things like that, which is how they're managing to take a lot of the games away from Steam because Steam's fees are a lot higher. That's the story between how Epic is going so well.
Steam's becoming very archaic. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead with my bit of news because it's not a way that I want to end on. We'll leave that up for you. Ubisoft is investigating retired Rayman creator for alleged hostile work environment. So anyone that's listening along, you would have remembered June, July, Ubisoft pretty much fell apart. And it fell apart because of, well, more so.
Earlier than that. But yes, keep going.
It fell apart for a lot of things to do with a hostile work environment, bad conditions, sexual misconduct, abuse, just all this crap through every one of Ubisoft's.
That's right. I remember talking about it because the old mate either got punted, like the top head honcho got punted or quit after these allegations. And I said, now we might get somebody in charge who'll give us a Splinter Cell game.
And we got him in Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And VR. But anyway, yes, I do remember that. That was a thing.
Yeah, so Michael Ansel, he's the creator of Rayman. He abruptly resigned from Ubisoft earlier this month. He's resigned saying that he wants to spend more time on partly on his studio, which he's got his own studio, which is Wild Sheep Studio, and also in regards to working on sort of a new venture, something to do with environmentalism and things like that. So he's pretty much retired from the game industry. He did work on the original Beyond Good and Evil, and he was working on Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I thought his new company that he was starting up was called Alibi Scapegoat. Oh, my bad. I must be mistaken.
Well, he's come out and flat out denied all the allegations. The allegations were that he was abusive towards staff and would make them feel unappreciated during meetings. I've got plenty of customers that do that to me. Does that count? Can I complain somewhere?
Sure.
He's also alleged. This is the one that gets me. This shows me the world that we're living in. He also is alleged to have not listened to his team and seemed to be making certain decisions arbitrarily.
So he was the boss.
He's the boss.
And it wasn't arbitrary. He let the dice decide.
So that one, I sort of went, he's the boss, pull your fucking head out. But being abusive towards staff, a good manager doesn't belittle people they lead, and they help bring them up. So that sort of stuff is a whole lot of crap. But the fact that yet again, a couple of months down the line, this has come up again, I really don't think we've seen the end of some big changes over at Ubisoft in regards to their staffing. Unfortunately, you might get that Splinter Cell game yet, mate. That's only because they'll be looking for people very soon, and you can put your hand up.
To do what? To run it?
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, right. See that game that you're in the middle of? Cancel it. Shelve it. That one, shelve it. You get off that.
Legions?
Come over here.
Legions has had enough updates. Don't worry about it anymore.
Come over here, everyone around. Okay, now you are all in charge of making Splinter Cell. Good. I'm taking lunch. Goodbye.
See you next week. All right. Do you want to close it off with the new Naughty Dog game?
Yeah. Have you heard about this? Do you know about this?
I think I do. Would this be a non-electrical version?
Yeah, shut up. All right, you know about it.
Yeah,
right, so there's a new Naughty Dog game coming. Are you excited? Yeah. Actually, I am. Yeah. This sounds really cool. I've got this information from a website known as GameInformer.com, which I will endeavour, if I take stuff from websites, to put the link to that article in the description below. So you can go and check it out. But The Last of Us tabletop adventure comes from a partnership between... Now, this company, is it CMON or is it Simon? 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 It's
Simon.
It's an interesting name. Seaman, all right, and Sony Interactive Entertainment. If Seaman sounds familiar, this is not I didn't write this. If Seaman sounds familiar, you may remember this company from its work with Sony in the past for both the God of War and Bloodborne adaptations. This is the first time The Last of Us has been adapted onto a board game officially, With this game, the suspense and sense of danger will be felt in a different way, not on a screen. Unfortunately, we don't have a look at the set quite yet or what sort of miniatures it will offer. But if it's anything like its Bloodborne experience, it will be incredibly detailed and will honour the Naughty Dog series beautifully. So, there is a board game coming for The Last of Us. I really hope it doesn't suck, but I would definitely be getting one of these, at least just for a collector's item, even if the game is shit. Because obviously it's going to have little miniatures on there for like the game board pieces, like sort of Monopoly. So it'd probably almost be worth it just to get your hands on those. But I'm keen to see what kind of game it is. And if I get it, can I get a show of hands? Who's keen? Come round and we'll play a game of The Last of Us.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm always up for a good board game.
Yeah, the only thing is, Snoogs and Greg, you actually have to fucking finish it, all right? I don't want to whinge for the next 3 years for you to finish this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Roll the fucking dice!
God.
All right.
Just roll it down.
But yeah, so that's coming. There is a board game of The Last of Us coming officially from Naughty Dog and Seaman.
Did you know Simon made a God of War card game?
Yes, I did see that in my travels looking up this article. What is that company name? Or is it Come On? Is that maybe
Come On.
what it is? Come On.
Maybe Come On.
Ah, like
Come On
Seaman.
games.
I mean, like Seaman. No, I don't. That's disgusting. Moving on.
I was going to let that go. Just editing Lucas picked that one up. What was that?
I have some really interesting games. I'm not going to lie. They look very interesting.
Yeah, they sound like they're quality. And I would imagine that someone like Naughty Dog probably wouldn't agree to something that was half-assed.
Yeah, they'd be pretty picky with it.
They must be quality. So, yeah, I'm keen on that. That's coming. You'll hear more from that. That GIF on the screen, very accurate. Let's absolutely move on from Simon.
All right, well, that's it for the news for this week. So now we're going to jump into last words. So a quick shout out to... Yeah, you've got your statement. Okay. A quick shout out to A10, Azrael, Radicus, and the Wraith chatting away live. And I think I've kept it together pretty well. There hasn't been too many chuckles at what's been done.
What are we talking about? This week's been a mess. It's been fantastic. There's been a couple of things Wraith's put in there when you have been talking. I've just zoned out and watched them. It's, I don't know what half the shit that was said tonight. So there we go. A quick shout out from me. A shout out to Kaz Kazakol, who's a good friend of the show. He's always here to keep us company and throw random stuff up. He joined me on stream the other night and asked me to pick up a copy of Minecraft in VR on the PS4 to show it off, and then proceeded to send me a donation to help with it. So thank you very much, mate. It's very nice.
Appreciate it. Any last words from yourself, Luke?
Yeah. What have I got? Oh, Doom Eternal is coming to Game Pass 1st of October. So it's like this week.
What are you talking about?
Surprised you care, Luke.
Huh?
I'm surprised you care.
No, not you. Snoogs. They're all coming on October 1st.
I think all the Dooms are. Yeah. No, I'm just throwing it in because Xbox now owns them. So all the Dooms are going to come across.
Well, Doom will be coming back because Doom is off.
It got
pulled off. Yeah.
Well, anyway, the point I'm making is that Doom Eternal is coming to Game Pass October 1st, but they're for PC later this year. So it's not going to be on PC just yet, which is a bit of a shame. But that's happening. Also, rumour, Metal Gear Solid original game remaster, or possibly remake, really. Yes, this has been done before. I think the Twin Snakes on the game something, one of Nintendo's systems that I never owned. Yes, but they're redoing it again for seemingly next-gen. GameCube, Thank you, The Wraith. That's just a rumour. I don't know about that, but the rumour states that it'll be coming to PlayStation 5 exclusive, but also PC. So that's an interesting one to keep an ear out for. Don't know if it's actual fact, but that's a rumour that I found. Yeah, those are my last words, except for just stamen as well. Do you know what a stamen is?
Hairy stamen.
I do.
Yeah, I'd learnt what a stamen is back when I used to watch Rove Live. Do you remember Rove McManus when he was relevant?
Say hi to your mum for me. Yeah.
Yeah, he had I think it was a segment where he talked about words that sound dirty but aren't, and stamen was one of them. And I think the stamen is a part of a flower or something like that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but it's one of its no-no bits, so it's technically kind of dirty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose it's its little sort of doodle part. But anyway, that's a stamen.
What's the statement? A flower doodle.
I think we just gave birth to the name of this episode. Flower doodle.
Flower doodle. Great.
And then there was words that sound better when said by Dave. Remember that guy, Dave something
Callan?
or other? Callan, yeah, he would do with the big beard, and he would go, genital freckle.
I don't remember that bit. All right.
That's enough about Rove McManus.
All right. Any last words, Greg?
No, other than I miss Dave Callan. He was great.
He was awesome.
All right. Well, Aussie Gamers TV and Snooger Vision over on Twitch. Make sure you just jump in and say good day when we go live. And, of course, Grejio XPL on the Instagram. It's just some more spirit dick. There you go. So that's it, boys. Let's close it up, shall we?
Yes, let's do that.
Thank you very much to everyone who's listened to the show, and especially those that are still listening this far along. Don't forget to continue any of the topics we've discussed on the show over in our Discord channel, or hit us up via our socials. While you're at it, hit up our website, www.theagexp.com. Links, as always, are in the podcast show notes and descriptions. That's all from me. As always, I have been Snoogs.
I've been Lucas.
I have been Grejio.
Toodles.
Oh, man. I even took all the time to set up this button, expecting you guys to mention it, but nothing happened. I'm just going to use it now for the sake of being able to use this special button.
Okay.
Birthday.
It was my birthday yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Birthday yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't. Well,
Son of a bitch.
technically, I don't think I actually know what your birthday is. So,
Yeah, it was yesterday.
yeah,
Write it
fair
down.
enough. I'll keep
Okay.
it. I'll
You
write it
can
down.
speak to the music. Sorry, did you say
Happy
something? Don't
birthday,
care. What's that?
I was too busy driving fast.
Happy nearly 40th.
I'm not nearly 40. You're 40. Are you 40?
I've gone over it now,
Yeah,
mate.
no, he's over it now.
How old are you?
He's 40 this year.
Yeah, I was 40 a couple of weeks back.
Yes, you are 40. Oh, you mean you've gone over it as in your past?
Yeah. So now I'm the closest without going over, isn't that? Price is right type shit.
Bye-bye, dude.
Yeah, Snooks did stroke out at the start of the show.
Ooh, once again, we have reached the end of another week in gaming. And if you've listened all the way up until this point of the show, then there's a good chance that you're a perfect fit for the Age XP Discord channel. And you can join by using the links in the show description. Once you've joined, you will find yourself within a community of amazing people who are all interested in one thing, and that's gaming. You can also join in live while we record the show and have your say. Now, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you'll be notified when the next episode is available for your listening pleasure. Until next time, take care, be safe, and keep on gaming.